Hello, good evening. It's a pleasure to be on this platform. I will be presenting our paper titled Using Expert System for Industrial Utilization of Leguminous Crops. I am Dr. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Mary Yerokun. My co-authors are Abdulhakeem Adewale Owolabi, Ifeyinwa Jane Iyawa, and Maureen Ngozi Wanzi. We are all of the Department of Computer Science Education, Federal College of Education, Technical, Asaba, Nigeria. We are first of all grateful to the Nigerian Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, for sponsoring this research under the institution-based research grant. We are grateful to TET Fund. As an introduction, we know that all human life has become digitized. Everything that we do these days is in technology. Everything. And humans have almost gotten used to the assistance of intelligent systems in everything we do. Intelligent systems are systems that can make decisions like human professionals, systems that are built based on the experiential knowledge of experts, and these systems are trained to mimic what professional experts will do, especially in making decisions and carrying out some tasks. Expert system is one of the branches of artificial intelligence under which intelligent systems are built. Statement of the problem. One of our authors reviewed Kranz 2016 emphasized that a diet is balanced when it gives the body the nutrients it needs to function correctly, meaning that food is the most important priority of man. But food is not called balanced. It's not a balanced diet if it does not consist of the 6 classes of food, especially if it does not consist them in the appropriate portions so that the body can be adequately nourished. And as a matter of statement of problem, we also know that protein is supposed to be between 20 to 30% of our daily food intake. It should be protein based, or we should get protein up to 20 to 30% of our daily food intake. And so the primary source of protein is meat, meat-based protein. And we know that production of meat is not only costly, it has become very difficult because of what it takes to raise animals. And we also know that there are a lot of health risks in eating meat, especially high cholesterol and fat in meat from animals. And so it is imperative for all hands to be on deck by sourcing, improving and sustaining protein availability from every healthy possibility for the good of all. And that is what brought us to plant-based protein, of which leguminous crops. Not just any crop, leguminous crops. They are cheap, they are common, they are everywhere, easy to grow. And of course, we know that most leguminous crops are eaten, they are edible. Leaves, branches, tiny twigs, even the roots. According to Yerokun 2021, the cross-section of the roots of some leguminous crops contain what is called leg hemoglobin, which is exactly the same thing like the hemoglobin that is in blood that makes meat to have its unique taste and value. So if we can get it in plants with a little adjustment and processing, we can get a balanced diet. And so the aim of this work is to design a model for the implementation of an expert system for industrial process and utilization of leguminous plants. And we our objective is to generate a multidimensional perception to the sourcing of leguminous crops as healthy alternative to meat-based protein, and to design an expert system, a model that will control the industrial process and utilization of leguminous crops. Theoretically, I've explained protein belongs to one of the 6 classes, and then leguminous crops are plants that are in the family formerly known as Leguminaceae, but we call them Fabaceae in recent terms. They are found in all continents. They are very easy to grow, and they are very common even in every yard. And some medical practitioners even they treat some health challenges nutritionally by combining cereals with legumes to treat deficient patients. In one of the slides here, we see pods in the roots of Arachis hypogaea, which we all call peanut or groundnut in Nigeria, and some about 9 different types of leguminous crops is here in the slide. We have the green bean, the Lupinus albus, which we call the faba bean. We have the brown Lenis culinaris. We have the red beans. We have the coral lens. We have the chickpea, and of course popular among them is soya beans, which is grown almost in every country, and they are very good, and they come in hard seeds coated. uh, Conventionally, when these seeds are harvested, they are sun dried to dehydrate them so that they can last longer. Sometimes they are soaked in water for 2 to 8 hours before sun drying, and then we also do some size reduction, to which is referred to as sheeting or flattening. We also do what they call gelling, which is treatment with oil for easy dehusking and a kind of preservative to prevent mold attacks and infestation till they are very dry. There are also the thermal processes, which includes pasteurization, sterilization, even canning, blanching, and then other extraction processes depending on the product that the manufacturer or the agriculturist is looking for. It could be flour, it could be just to eat as lentils, such as beans. It could be to produce aromatic oil. It could be pharmaceutical. It could be for pharmaceutical use. It could be for uh, domestic use, and so on and so forth. So the product needed at the end of the day will determine the extraction process, and of course the other processes that are involved or that are required. There are also some advanced processes: ultraviolet technique, microwave, infrared, and so on and so forth. Those ones are way advanced. At this level, methodology, we did data collection, data extraction, and feature extraction. We even did data reduction to compress our data to manageable chunks, and then we developed the inference engine, the database, and the working memory, of course with a user interface in the system that we designed. We collected data from journal publications, widely publicized journals, and of good reputation, and we interviewed food industrialists, we interviewed crop engineers, we interviewed even some botanists, and we visited some local farms, even some local production sites close by, to obtain exactly some of those things that we need. We had Eventually we had 9 processes altogether for each of these products that we target, uh, for concise and for time and space management. We were able to compress them to 9. We have the pre-milling treatment, the husking or dehiscing treatment, we have the sorting, soaking, the pre-thermal treatment, we have the thermal treatment, crushing, filtering, and eventually packaging. And then we further reduced these 9 processes into 4 to give us something that the system can work with efficiently. We grouped them into 4 groups: the pre-milling treatment, the thermal treatment, composition, which is compounding and putting the mixture into the form that is needed, and then packaging before the system continues again. Where here we have the process flow of the system. The expert gives the knowledge even to the knowledge base, which is eventually in the database from which the system can learn. With the neural network, we learn continuously until it reaches a perfect, or when the error rate is almost negligible. And then there is also the user interface, where the user can interact easily with the machine. The user puts in the input and gives instructions what needs to be done, makes the decision what product is needed to uh, is targeted at the end of the day or at the end of the process, because that will determine which of the lines of control that will be followed. And then when it is completed, we have the output back. And of course, in building the inference engine, the database, and the working memory. After all this, we tested this with a MATLAB platform as the interactive IDE to be sure that it will flow easily with any simple system that will not require a very large capacity or big capacity system. The inference engine worked perfectly by using backward chaining technique and depended on all the rules and facts supplied by the users. Of course, the production rules are already available in the knowledge base to control the processes. So the system will only execute the consequence when a rule containing it is fired, and a rule is executed only when all the antecedents are satisfied and by facts that are supplied by the user to the inference engine. And of course, we have the architectural design of the system, from the expert to the system main components, and coding eventually, of course, testing, and then running to the conclusion. Now let's the discussion of our results and our discoveries. The model design in this work used is embedded in a comprehensive rule-based database for post-harvest processing of leguminous crops mainly, but it can be expanded to contain some other crops maybe later, but our target at this point are leguminous crops. And this system provides complete professional and expert control on the procedures to ensure smooth running of the system, of the factory, of the production line, to make sure that the various products are obtainable at very decent and very fast rate with very little human control, and then the numerous processes were reduced to 9 rows, which we explained weights were attached to them, and later we reduced them to 4, and making the neural network to work faster and better. And then the data set was reduced to 4 levels to enhance optimum concentration, like we discussed. And here we have the production control expert model. Eventually, we see the input from harvest coming in as raw crops and seeds, the intervention of the experts coming in at the pre-milling treatment, and after that, the expert will specify, or the user at this point will specify which product that is needed. That will determine which of the thermal treatments that it will go through. Any of them can be selected. After that, we go to the composition level, which is mixture and grinding, or putting everything paste, whatever has to be done before eventually it will be packaged and of course sent for distribution and final consumption. In conclusion, this work was designed to control a system that a system of processes in the industrial utilization of leguminous crops. We use neural network to set the rule-based database and the working memory, which in turn guides the inference engine to efficiently control all the processes to the desired output. And of course, this work is illustrative, is interactive, and educative. The user can be a professional or a non-professional, even so long as the person can read and write and follow the instructions by the system. There are mostly push buttons, select one yes or no, and it goes running smoothly with little or no intervention, and reducing stress on the part of the user. Farmers, factory managers, and industrialists, everybody in the pursuit of food, in the pursuit of providing cheap and affordable food for man, can make use of this system. And that is uh, what we have done in this work. Thank you for listening.